Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. In the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are done with ayah number 65 from Surah number 19, titled Maryam. So ayah number 66, where we start today, and man says, is it going to happen that if I die, or when I die, I will be brought up alive? And number 67, doesn't man remember that we have created him from before and he was nothing? This is in reference to the allegations of the pagans in Mecca who claimed that there is no resurrection. When we die, that's the end of it. There is no story beyond the story. It's finished. And here it says, doesn't man remember that we have created him before from nothing? He was nothing. In fact, what science tells us today is the fact that the elements that constitute our human body, the natural elements like iron, copper, certain other things, are 16 elements. The same 16 elements found in the dust are the same elements in the human body. So when the Torah says that man is created from dust, Adam was created from dust, it is true that Adam was created from dust. So science now has it very clear and very evident that not only the 16 elements found in the dust are found in our body, but they all come in our body in the same percentages you find them in the dust. Just an amazing scientific discovery. It's an eye-opener. So if the man was created from dust, and when our bodies decompose and decay, we turn into dust again, why should it be difficult for Allah to recreate us from dust? He did it the first time. And Allah says it clearly in the Quran. And you've come back to us as singles, and we will revive you as we had created you the first time. So, and when they ask, who is going to revive these decayed bones and rotten remnants and residuals, say the one who created it the first time. It's just an amazing argument that people make without any evidence. But when they look at science that they believe in, they find the evidence right there. Not only that, but the 73% of the body of water on the earth is the same 73% of the body of water inside our human body. So every human is 73% water, and the rest are cells and other things, bones, this and this. But there is not a single cell without plasma. What is plasma? It's a fluid. So the human body is formatted like 73% water, and the rest, which is 27, is something else. Exactly like the body of water on the globe. So doesn't man remember that we've created him before when he was nothing? Ayah number 68, by your Lord, we are going to gather them alongside the devils, and we will bring them on their knees around hellfire. They will be rounded up, and they will be around hellfire on their knees, begging for forgiveness, begging for acceptance, begging for being saved. And then we will pick up from every group the worst enemy of the merciful one, the one who was the bully of the bullies, will pick them up. And certainly we know who deserves the blaze of fire the most. And none of you but will cross over hellfire. This is a must, and it is incumbent by the decree of your Lord. Then we will save the ones who are righteous, who feared God, and we will leave the wrongdoers over there inside hellfire on their knees. And when our verses are recited upon them with clear meanings, those who disbelieved would say to the believers, which party are better in position and better in luxurious soft life? So the wealthy disbelievers now in this life are bragging and saying, well, Allah loves us because we have it all. We have the water, we have the green, we have the gold, we have the money, we have the business, we have everything. So they are bragging and boasting for the believers, and they are saying, look, now as we stand, who's better off? We are more advanced than you are. You have nothing, you're backward. You don't have resources, you don't have civilization, you don't have anything. The next ayah 74, and how many nations and generations have we destroyed before them? They were better in lofty positions, and they were better in position and power. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that there are people here in this life who will boast about God's gifts, but they deny God. And they brag to those who believe in God and say, we are better than you are because God gave us this. Look what He gave you. He gave you nothing. To destroy their faith and to destroy their confidence in their faith. So how many generations that have passed have we destroyed before them, who were better in wealth, goods, and outward appearance? They were much better than themselves. Then we will save those who are pious, and will leave those on their knees in hellfire. Then ayah number 74 say, he who has been gone astray, let Allah extend for him further until they see what they have been promised, either the torment or the hour, and they will certainly know who is worse off in place and who has weaker soldiers and supporters. In other words, Allah is answering their claim that they are better, they are bigger, they are more powerful, they have all things that they want, all of this. And Allah saying, well, this is Allah extending a chance for you. But you abuse it, you lose it. And on the day of judgment, come on the day of judgment, and you will see who is worse off and who's better off. And number 76, and Allah enhances and increases the guidance for those who followed His initial guidance. In other words, if you follow Allah's guidance initially, Allah will give you more guidance. But if you refuse to follow from the beginning, why should Allah give you better guidance or more guidance? Okay, and the performance of all kinds of good deeds which Allah has ordained, and the righteous good ones that last, are better with your Lord for reward and better for resort. Which means that on the day of judgment, those who follow the guidance of Allah will reap the fruits of everything good they have done, whether it is prayer, whether it is charity, whether it is helping others, whether it is being kind to your parents, nice with your kids, educate others and teach others about whatever good that you learn in your life. This you will find its fruits ready, waiting for you in the hereafter. Then ayah number 77, have you seen to the one who had belied our ayat, our signs? And he not only did that, but he said, I will certainly be given wealth and children if I am alive again. So they deny resurrection, they deny Allah, they deny the signs and evidence, and they say, if I go back in the hereafter, I will get even more than what I have here. Very confident, very arrogant. Then Allah asks further, saying, has he known the unseen, or has he taken a covenant from the most beneficent? Boasting about what he will get according to his false expectations seems to be an act of extreme arrogance, because you can boast about what you have in your hand, but how do you boast about what you don't have already? But they are claiming that they are so certain of themselves that their hereafter will be even better than what they have it here. So Allah says, have they seen the unseen? Or have they taken a covenant from Allah? Then ayah number 79, nay, we shall record what he says, and we shall increase his torment in hell. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling these people that boasting in this life, you're free to do whatever you want, but you're boasting about the hereafter of which you have no guarantee. Nobody has made a promise for you. On what basis do you do this? But they are blinded by power, wealth, children, and arrogance. So we will extend torment for him because of what he's saying, and we will record what he's saying and face him with it on the day of judgment. And we shall inherit from him at his death all what he talks of, meaning wealth and children and ownership and positions. And he shall come back to us as a single person. He's not going to come with his entourage. He's not going to come with the rally supporters on his campaign trail. He is not going to come with his audience, with those who put 10,000 likes to his posts. None of this will be with him. He will come alone. Ayah number 81, and they have taken for worship gods besides Allah, that they might give them honor, power, and glory, and protection from Allah's punishment. That's 81. 82, nay, but they, the so-called gods, will deny their worship of them and become opponents to them. They will tell them, we don't know you. No, you are not worshiping us. You are worshiping the devil. Even the devil will plead innocent of their claims. I didn't do anything. I only invited you, and because of your lust and desire, you followed my invitation. So in the following, number 83, have you not seen that we have sent the devils against the disbelievers to instigate them, to push them? The devil keeps dictating to us, whispering to us, talking to us. And most of the time, when people are thinking alone, most of what they hear are temptations and ideas from the devil. Why didn't you do this? Go ahead, do this, destroy him, get back to him or her. And all of this is going to come to haunt us on the day of judgment. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, ayah number 84, so hasten not for them, meaning do not hasten their torment. It's coming, don't worry about it. It's coming at our time, not your decision. It's not up to you. We are just preparing everything for them. On the day when we gather the believers, the righteous ones, to the merciful one as a joint delegation. So the righteous people will be brought before Allah as a group to receive them and to invite them into paradise. And we will usher the criminals unto hellfire. We will push them into hellfire. They will have no position or no control, neither will they have even intercession, except for the ones who have taken a covenant from God. Of course, those who have taken a covenant and lived by that covenant, they will be in paradise, they will not be in hellfire. So the following, number 88, and they said that the merciful one had begotten a son. What you have brought forth is most monstrous. It is so evil, claim. It's so terrible in the eyes of God. Why is it so terrible to claim that there is a son for God? Because God creates, He does not beget. God is not a human that He would have a wife and beget a son. So Allah is rejecting this type of claim. And they said that the merciful one had begotten a son. You have brought something very evil and terrible. The heavens are about to break down in cracking, and the earth is about to open up, and the mountains are about to split a thunder. That they claim that the merciful one had a son. And it's not befitting for the merciful one to beget a child. Everyone in heavens and earth will come to the merciful one as a servant. He has counted them, all of them, and everyone is coming to him singularly. And number 96, indeed those who have believed and did righteous deeds, the merciful one will give them mercy, compassion, and love. Allah loves those who are righteous. So Allah will love them back because of the love of Allah. And number 97, we have made this Quran easy in your own tongue, only that you may give glad tidings to the muttaqeen, the pious ones, and warn with it the luda, most egregious, most quarrelsome people. And how many a generation before them have we destroyed? Could you, O Muhammad, find a single one of them or hear even a whisper of them. This is the last verse in Surah number 19. If there is any question, okay. Anyone on Facebook could write a question, or we cannot figure it.
Not yet. Facebook says the interpreter needs to train other interpreters.
But I got no questions.
No questions. Okay.
So we'll go for Surah number 20. Surah number 20 is named Taa-Haa, T-A-H-A.
Which is a translation of that word to English?
Taa-Haa are two letters. It's not a name. It's not a word. It is like Alif, Lam, Mim.
I didn't know they had another one like that.
Oh, there are many. So we spoke about this early on when we started in the beginning. The second surah had 3 letters in the beginning. Alif, Lam, Mim. The third surah also has Alif, Lam, Mim. And there are so many other surahs that start with what they call separate letters that do not constitute a word.
Taa-Haa.
Taa-Haa, T-A-H-A.
So it's 2 letters.
Yes, it is 2 letters. Taa-Haa.
Okay.
And the interpreters of the Quran, they say that those letters, all of it are Arabic letters. And it is a reminder and a challenge for the Arabs who claimed that Muhammad wrote it down. Muhammad authored the Quran. Then the Quran tells them, bring 1 surah like it. Bring 10 surahs like it. Bring 10 ayah like it. And they couldn't. Even though they were the epic of eloquence in the Arabic language. It's like the laureate of the Arabs were living in Mecca. Because Mecca was the capital of culture, business, and trade, and religion. So everybody came to Mecca every year, almost. If not for worship, it is for business. So when they claim that Muhammad wrote it, and it is written in Arabic, Allah is telling them, isn't it the same letters you are using? So these are the letters. Bring something like it. So between every other surah or less or more, Allah brings some letters in the beginning of the surah to challenge and remind the Arabs, it is still in your language, could you bring something like it? Okay. So here it says, Taa-Haa, we have not sent down the Quran unto you to give you trouble, to give you difficulty, or to give you distress. It is no more than a reminder It is no more than a reminder for those who fear Allah. A revelation from Him, from Allah, who has created the earth and the high heavens. The most beneficent, Allah, who has His throne on which he has power and control over in a manner that suits his majesty. When we talk about Allah's actions, we cannot talk about it as if we are talking about a human. So when we say, for example, Allah hears, it doesn't mean that he has ears. He hears. Okay? It doesn't mean that he hears like our hearing. Because he is the creator, he has faculties that are consistent with his majestic qualities, not our human qualities. That's why we have to be careful not to compare or imagine Allah as if we are imagining a person that we have not seen yet. Allah is not a person. Then other people say, Allah is a spirit. No, Allah is not a spirit. All spirits are created by Allah. And we know that there is nothing like unto him. Why? Because everything else he has created. So as much as we humans would never accept somebody comparing us to a table on which we eat, or a chair on which we sit, or a computer that we use. All of these are made by humans, right? Do they look like humans? Yes, the chairs have legs, but are we chairs because we have joint legs? We're not chairs. So the point here is Allah is not like any of his creation, and none of his creation looks like him. We even cannot say that he is, for example, tall or big or large. We could only say he's great. Leave it at that. So every description that is used for humans does not befit the Creator himself. So it says here, the language of the statement here, that he settled on the throne. But what does it mean? It doesn't mean like me sitting on the chair. That is not what it is. He has power and control and dominion of everything there is in heavens and in the earth, and everything in between, and everything under the dust. And whether you speak loudly or not, Allah knows the secrets and what is hidden behind the secret. How and what is it that is hidden beyond the secret? Because we know that the secret is hidden, right? What is known beyond the secret? What is it? What does he know? He knows the thoughts and the ideas that run in our hearts and our heads, even as we do not express them. He knows what is in our chest. He is God. He doesn't need to physically open our chest to know what's inside. Mind you, he is the one who lets our heart work when we are asleep, almost dead. So we believe this and don't believe that he knows it. He knows it. So he knows the secret and what is even more concealed than a secret. Allah, there is no God but He. He has all the holy and beautiful names. This is Allah introducing something here. He's talking about the creation. He's talking about who created the creation. He's talking about heavens and earth and whatever is in between. He's talking about the earth and what's underneath the earth. He's talking about what we say and what we conceal, and he knows both, whether secret or private or public. And then it says, it is He, Allah. There is no God but He. He has all those beautiful names of His. And then it addresses Prophet Muhammad by raising a question. Have you ever heard of the tale of Prophet Moses? When he saw a fire and he told his family, stay put right here. I have seen something like fire. Maybe I can bring you something to warm yourself. Or maybe I will find around the fire some guidance. When he approached the fire and when he reached there, he was called, Oh Moses, I am your Lord. Take off your shoes. You are in the holy valley of Taa. The holy valley of Taa is also the valley of Mount Sinai, where he went to hear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I have chosen you, so listen to what I am revealing unto you. Indeed, I am Allah. There is no God but me. So worship me and establish prayer to remember me. The hour is definitely coming. I was barely about to hide it so that every soul will be rewarded or recompensated accordingly to what it did. Let me explain this again. Verily, the hour is coming. The hour is coming, though I choose to keep it hidden. When he says, I barely hid it, Allah is saying that it is hidden, but it has signs that point to it. So it is not absolutely hidden, and that's why he is using the proximity expression. I'm about to hide it, but it is not fully hidden. I hope you understand what it means. This is a very unique expression. So the actual hour is hidden from us. We don't know when. We don't know. We cannot see it. But there are signs that come before it. Those signs point to it, but they do not actually show it. And until it comes, when it comes, it will come all of a sudden. Suddenly, things will explode. Suddenly, the earth will explode. Suddenly, the mountains will be flown off like clouds. Suddenly, the seas will turn into fire. Suddenly, the sun will come from the west instead of coming from the east. All of this it will throw everybody not only off balance, but out of conscience. We will all die. Every living thing on earth will die. In one blow of the hornet, everything will be gone.
All at the same time.
The sun is the last sign that means that the day of judgment is here. But there are signs before that. Minor signs have already come. Among the minor signs that you see the Bedouin desert people competing as to whose building is highest. I know an architect in one of those Gulf countries. He received one investor in his office one day asking him to build him a tower. You know the Trump Tower? So that Bedouin asked the architect to build him a tower. So the architect brought a notebook and he said, what are you going to use it for? He wants to write, what is the tower going to be used for? The man said, it doesn't matter, but I want it to be the tallest tower in the downtown. That's the point.
He shows Superman-like facade because that's the tallest building and no one can top it. Is that?
He wants to show that my tower is higher than all others, which means I am the big man here. But it doesn't mean that he's a Superman. He's super wealthy, yes, but there are others who are as wealthy as he is. But he wants his tower to stand out above all else. So the hour itself is hidden, but it is signs. The minor signs have already come. One of the minor signs is that a lady would give birth to a girl that will be her master, which is a sign of rebellion against one's own mother, and a sign of children exploiting parents and ordering them. And we see this happening today. As parents grow older, kids become like monsters, wanting to control their parents. I told you, sit down here. Why do you move? I left you here. Why did you walk? So they mistreat parents as if parents are servants. Another sign is the spread of foul songs and foul language, the spread of aggression, individual against individual, random killing of people who do not know each other. In the 80s, Washington used to be the top city in murder in the United States. And there used to be something called drive-by shooting. Somebody riding a car and he has a gun, he shoots at random people walking in the street, coming out of stores, getting in stores, whatever. Now we see the shooting spreading into the streets, from the streets to the churches, to the post office, to schools, places that we've always taken for granted as safe, right? So random killing. Then another sign, mass killing. Jim Jones took about 350 people and gave them poison and told them they are going to paradise if they take the poison. He took it, they took it, and they all died. But this is not mass killing. 350 is nothing when you compare with, you know, 250,000 people in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And Hiroshima and Nagasaki is not a mass killing compared to the millions that died in World War II and World War I. What is a mass killing? Man keeps doing worse than what he has done before. The science Allah gives us as a gift to progress and develop good things, which some of us do. Mostly governments that act like gangs, they misuse it to destroy what people build. Nations attack nations for wealth, for false pretenses. All of these are signs of the day of judgment. We are getting very close. We are getting very close to the day of judgment.
I'm gonna ask after. Can we just save a little bit of time?
Yes. Now is the time.
Okay. So you're saying that have all of the signs already happened?
I'm sorry, before I get the question, could anyone give me a ride back to the masjid?
Sure.
You have a car?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You need to be dropped off at
yeah, we'll take the question and we'll go to the mosque.
To mosque. To DH?
DH, yes.
Okay. Okay, so the signs, have all the minor signs already happened, or are they still, most of them happened, or is there a percentage of those that have happened?
The vast majority of those signs have come.
So the next would be the big signs, right? The major signs? And
Yes.
that's all we have left?
Yes.
So my question is, what's the first major sign?
The first major sign is the coming of Jesus.
Okay.
And after he comes back, he would lead all of those who have followed his teachings accurately and those who followed divinely sent prophets, which we all call the believers. He will guide them to follow him, and he will rule by the final revelation, which will be the Quran. He will break the cross and kill the pig. And he will guide those people against the forces of the Dajjal, the false Christ. So the false Christ will be first, and people will be tested by this, and then the real Christ will come, and there will be a fight between the two sides, and Isa will kill the false Christ, and he will lead the believers according to the Quran, and they will live for about 40 years or so before the sun rises from the west, the east, or from the west, sorry. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Oh, where are we at?
We are in Surah number 20. We finished ayah number 15, and we are resuming ayah number 16. Thank you.